Gananam tva ganapatim havamahe kavim kavinamupamashravastavam Jyeshthārajam brahmanam brahmanaspatana shrunvannotibhis seedasadanam Shri Mahaganadhipataye namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Istuštuvagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear friends, we are in this seventh mantra of the first part of second Mundaka. The second Mundaka, that is Mundakopanishad, the second Mundaka, first part of it, and then seventh mantra. Tasmacha deva bahudha samprasutaha sadhya manushya pashavo vayamsi pranapano vrihiyavo tapasya shraddha satyam brahmacharyam vidhishya. That is the mantra we read in the last class. We have to read the Bhashyam. I think we commenced the Bhashyam. We just read one or two lines. That is, Tasmacha Purushat Karmanga Bhutaha Devaha Bahudha Vaswadi Ganabhedena Samprasutaha. I think we read this line. Yes, we read this line?
Yeah.
Okay. Tasmacha Purushat. From that Purusha. So we are seeing various layers of that Purusha. Various layers means first is that Brahman, which is defined as the absolute consciousness, all pervading absolute consciousness, that is the Brahman, which has nothing to do with anything, which has no doership also. And how do you account for this creation? So we account for that creation by postulating some sort of intermediary thing called Maya. What can we say, entity called Maya. And that Maya is the creative power in that supreme reality called consciousness. That Maya, it is also called Avyaktam, sometimes called Aksharam also. Aksharam is a word which has been used to all the three levels we have seen. Aksharam has been used to Supreme Brahman. Aksharam, depending on the context, it is used to this Maya. It is also used to refer to this, Hiranyagarbha Brahma. So that is why we saw Parat Paraha, Parasmat Paraha. So that is what we saw. Already this Aksharam is Param, this Maya is Param, and Tasmat Paraha. Parasmat Paraha, in one of the earlier mantras. So we have been seeing these different layers. And the text is repeatedly saying that though they are appearing as different, they are one and the same. So this particular thing, this Tasmacha Deva Bahudha Samprasutaha Tasmat, what is this Tasmat? From what? From that, say that Purusha only. In some serial, in a sort of serial order, Karmanga Bhutaha Devaha. Karmanga Bhutaha. Karma means a yajna, any type of yajna, a ritual. So in any ritual there are various deities who are invoked. For example, if you are performing one yajna, not necessarily one deva, suppose you are performing one yajna for Indra. There may be other pujas, for example, Ganapati puja, some other puja called Vishvedeva puja, some other puja for Navagraha puja. So they are all Karmanga Bhutaha. They are all what can we say, subsidiary or ancillary Anga Bhutaha. Anga Bhutaha means which are part and parcel of it. Part and parcel of the main yajna. So such Devaha. Then Bahudha, Vaswadi Gana Bhedena, he is also clarifying. Vasu, Rudra, Aditya, etc., etc. All these Gana Bheda. Gana means a group. Gana Bhedena. Different groups, let us say. Some Prasutaha, Samyak Prasutaha, they say emerged, or they were all born. Some Samyak, so well. So well they have emerged. Then Sadhyaha Deva Visheshaha. Sadhyaha is another type of Deva, another divine entity, because we visualize different levels of, say, celestial beings. So Sadhyaha. Sadhya is another. In Purusha Sukta also you get this line, Yatra Sadhya Santi Devaha. So Sadhyaha. Then let us read Manushyaha Karmadhikrutaha.
Manushyaha Karmadhikrutaha.
You see, Manushya, they are the Karmani Adhikrutaha. Who are the people who are, yeah, this we stopped here in the last class. That is, it is only the Manushya who is having the ability to do karma. Not only the ability, he is given he has been ordained. Because we do not know whether devas are doing yajna or not. So our rishis are also very practical. They said, Manushyaha are the people who are karmani adhikrutaha. They are the people on whom karma is enjoined. We do not know what happens in the divine world. We do not know what happens in nether worlds. So we pretty well know that there are some people here, and then we are supposed to guide them properly. We are supposed to give them some sort of agenda, some sort of say timetable, let us say, not agenda, a sort of timetable to follow. And that timetable is various karmas. So karmani adhikrutaha. And in the last class we were just discussing this point, that is, India is usually referred to as the karma bhumi. But Vedanta says, Puranam may say India is karma bhumi. Some Puranam may say, yes, India is such a sacred land, it is karma bhumi, etc., etc. But India, we are not referring to some geographical piece called India to refer to karma bhumi, because this geographical piece has been shrinking from the time of Mughals. From the time of Mughals it has been shrinking. It may shrink again, we do not know. So, but then this karma bhumi is the level. Bhumi does not necessarily mean land. Karma bhumi is the level. For example, yoga bhumika, we say yoga bhumi, that particular level of yoga, yoga bhumika. The first level is just to get a good idea that yes, I have to follow this. That is called, there is some technical word for that. So anyway, so different levels of yoga. So karma bhumi is that level at which a person is supposed to do karma. He is supposed to change his destiny, because there is a mixture of destiny or determinism and free will in our system. We know that. That is, depending on the past baggage of your karma, you have taken birth. But having taken birth, you have got all the free will. You have got all the free will to exercise and then adopt any course of action. And then by following a right course of action, you can nullify all the effects of the earlier karmas. You can nullify the effects, neutralize the effects. You can literally liquidate, not only neutralize but liquidate all the karmas. So that is what is jnanam, isn't it? So this Brahmajnani is a person who liquidates all the old karmas. So that is how karmani adhikrutaha. Then Pashavaha Gramyaranyaha. Vayamsi Pakshinaha. Jivanam cha Manusyadinam Pranapanau. Vrihiyavau Havirarthau. So then Pashavaha means all types of animals. Gramya, Aranya, Gramya, Aschaye, all this Purusha Suktam we are seeing it repeated. Gramya is something, they are there present in a village. Aranya means all the things which are there in the forest. Then Vayamsi, Vayas is Pakshi. Pakshi means a bird. Pashinaha. Vayamsi is Pashinaha. That is birds. Jivanam cha Manusyadinam Pranapano. This Prana and Apana, which is the life, which is basically the life of all the prani. Manusyadinam, for all the pranis, for all the living beings. This Prana and Apana is something which is compulsory. Then Vrihi Yavav. Vrihi is what we say, rice. Yava is a particular type of wheat, not exactly wheat, it is called barley. Some type of barley which is grown, say there in North India. Vrihi Yavav, Havirarthau. Havirarthau means for the purpose of havis, for the purpose of oblation. Then Tapascha Karmangam Purusha Samskara Lakshanam.
Tapascha Karmangam Purusha Samskara Lakshanam.
Svatantrancha Phalasadhanam. So this tapaha we have seen that tapaha is swatantrancha phala sadhanam. Independently it is capable of achieving the result. Swatantrancha, tapas is there. Tapaha is an austerity. Austerity independently also it gives some good result. But it is also part and parcel of some rituals. Karmangancha Purusha Samskara Lakshanam. Suppose somebody is performing a yajna. He is supposed, the yajamani, the person who performs that yajna, he is supposed to undergo some austerities for the first few days before commencing that yajna. Before commencing the yajna, he has to be in the right frame of mind. He and his wife, they are supposed to fast. They are supposed to read some sacred books. They are supposed to do some parayanam. They are supposed to say observe brahmacharya. They are that sort of spiritual discipline for a couple of days, for a few days, and then thereafter he undertakes that yajna. So that is the karmangam. That is a sort of preparatory step or part and parcel of that karma, tapas. While doing that, say yajna, he has to fast. Maybe we have seen this yajnas when they do yajamani. He only takes one time, say one meal a day. He doesn't eat 3 times, 4 times a day. So like that. Purusha samskara lakshanam. Samskara means part of purification. Part of purification, that is an internal discipline. It is an internal discipline which purifies a person. Then Shraddha Yat Purvakaha Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayogaha
Yat Purvakam Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayogaha
Yat Purvakaha Prayogaha. That is Purvakaha, it should be, not Purvakam. Because it is referring to Prayogaha.
Yes.
Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayogaha. Chitta Prasadaha Astikya Buddhihi.
Chitta Prasadaha Astikya Buddhihi.
So we have seen this word Shraddha also. Shraddha means a devoted attention, earnestness, a devoted attention to a particular, say, object or objective. Yat Purvakaha Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayogaha. So any type of Purusha, any implementation, Prayogaha is implementation. Prayoga actually means usage or implementation. Any Purushartha sadhana, any implementation of any Purushartha, that is Purushartha means, say, for some objective, you are performing a particular ritual. So, for that, this Shraddha is a prerequisite. Yat Purvakaha means that which is preceded by Shraddha. This Purushartha sadhana Prayogaha is preceded by Shraddha. This Purushartha sadhana Prayogaha, Yat Purvakaha means Shraddha Purvakaha. Purushartha sadhana prayogaha Shraddha Purvakaha means that is preceded by Shraddha. So that is it. That is something which means it is a prerequisite. It is a prerequisite for performance of any yajna. Then what does it mean? Chitta Prasadaha Astikya Buddhi. Chitta Prasadaha. That peace of mind, tranquility of mind. His mind should not be in a state of confusion. His mind should not be in a state of excitedness. So that is Chitta Prasada. Then Astikya Buddhi. Astikya Buddhi also we know this word. Asti. Asti means exists. Astikya means one who accepts the existence of the Supreme. One who accepts the existence of the, not only existence, the validity of the Vedas. In Vedanta, or rather in the tradition, we use this word called Astika and Nastika. Not in Vedanta. In our tradition, we use these two words Astika and Nastika. Nastikas are Veda Nindakaha, those who do not accept the authority of the Veda. Then Astikaha are Veda, those who accept the authority of the Veda. The other people are Veda Nindakaha. So then Astikya Buddhi is that type of Buddhi where he is accepting that, authority of the Veda. Then Tatha Satyam Anrutavarjanam.
Satyam Anrutavarjitam.
Anrutavarjanam. Okay, Varjitam also is okay. Yatha Bhutartha Vachanancha Apidakaram.
Yatha Bhutartha Vachanancha Apidakaram.
No, we should not give emphasis on Bhuta. Yatha Bhutartha. Yatha Bhutam. We should not split those things. Yatha Bhuta, we should not split. Yatha Bhuta. Yatha Bhuta means as it exists. Yatha Bhutam. As it exists. Yatha Bhutartha Vachanam. So that is saying something which is as it is. That is, you see something and you just say what it is. You don't add, you don't distort or anything like that. Satyam is Anruta Varjanam. That is avoiding Anrutam, avoiding the untruth. Avoiding the untruth. Yatha Bhutartha Vachanam. That is to say as it is. Then Apida Karam. And at the same time, you should not hurt people. You have to tell in a rather pleasant way. So you know that old, famous shloka, Satyam from, what is this, Mahabharata. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. You must be knowing that shloka. You know that? Know it? So you have to tell the truth and priyam bruyat. You tell it in a pleasant way. Na bruyat, satyam apriyam. You should not tell this truth in a very unpleasant way. So yesha dharma sanatana. This is the established dharma. So that is what it means. The third line, what is it? Na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Priyanja na anrutam bruyat. That is, You should not tell a lie, though it is pleasing. So in order to speak very pleasant words, you should not tell untruth. So that is it. Esha dharma sanatana. This is that sanatana dharma. This is the sanatana means relevant for all times. That is beyond the sanatana sadatana. That is always it applies. So that is the dharma for all times. So that is it. Then brahmacharyam maithuna samacharaha.
Brahmacharyam maithuna samacharaha.
Maithuna samacharaha. Maithuna asamacharaha. Maithunasya asamacharaha means asamacharanam. Anacharanam. Asamacharanam. That is it. Asamacharaha means that is not indulging in sexual contact. Maithunam means sexual contact, sexual relationship. Asamacharaha means anacharanam, avoidance of sexual contact. Then vidhischa iti kartavyata.
Vidhischa iti kartavyata.
Vidhi means a sort of injunction. Other in that injunction there is what is called iti kartavyata. Iti kartavyata is one word. It is a word which is in Mimamsa. Mimamsa paribhasha. Paribhasha means terminology. In the terminology of Mimamsa, this iti kartavyata is a good word. It is an interesting word. That is, you have to do like this, you have to do like this. A step-by-step description of how you have to do a thing. That is what is iti kartavyata. Then, let us read the next mantra. Sapta prana prabhavanti tasmat.
Sapta prana prabhavanti tasmat.
Saptarchishas samidhas sapta homaha.
Saptarchishas samidhas sapta homaha.
Sapta ime loka yeshu charanti prana.
Sapta ime loka yeshu charanti prana.
Guhashaya nihitas sapta sapta.
Guhashaya nihitas sapta sapta.
So he is continuing to describe that evolution of the initial right from the beginning. He said about say that cosmic all the things like Surya, Chandra, etc. Then again Ruchaha, Samaha, Yajugumshi, all these things he described. Then again he is coming down to the individual being. Individual being, okay, he is right now referring to a human being. We do not know how many senses different animals have, but he is referring to a human being. That is Sapta Pranaha Prabhavanti Tasmat. Tasmat means from the same being. Sapta Pranaha Prabhavanti. 7 Pranaha. Prana also in this context it means Indriyani. Pranaha means Indriyani. Depending on the context, you have to see the word Devaha. Devaha sometimes means God, sometimes means Indriyani. So here Pranaha means they are referring to Indriyani. 7 Indriyas. 7 Indriyas means sense organs he is actually referring to. That is Sapta Shirshanyani he is going to say. That is 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 eyes, and then the mouth, organ of speech. So these are the 7 organs which are referred to here. Sapta Pranaha. Then Sapta Archishaha. Archis is fire or flame. The 7 flames, these Indriyas, they are like 7 flames going towards their 7 objects. So Indriyas, they are going to the sense objects. They are not keeping quiet. They are going to the sense objects. So these sense objects are like the Samidhaha. Sapta Archishaha, they are like the flames. And then Samidhas Sapta. What are the they say Samidha, what are the things which are put into this fire? The Vishayaha. This Vishayaha, they are like the Samidha. And then say when there is no Vishaya, there is no flame. But if there is a Vishaya, you immediately desire it. So that means this flame is ignited, is kindled. So that is it. Sapta Samidhaha. Then Homaha. Homaha means the awareness. Homa, here it is referring to, Homa actually means oblation. There is a difference between Samidha and Homa. Samidha means the firewood, isn't it? Homa is the oblation, separate thing. Homa is vrihi, eva, etc. That is the thing which you put. Samidha and Homa, there is a difference you have to see. Samidha is the firewood which is basically meant to ignite it. Then after the fire is well lit, then you are putting an oblation. So that oblation is called Homa or Havis. So here it is Sapta Havis. And what is this Havis? The knowledge of the sense object is the Havis. So the knowledge of these sense objects is the Havis here. Of course, Shankaracharya is going to explain all that. Then Sapta Ime Lokaha. He is referring not to the lokas like Vishnu Loka, Brahma Loka, etc. He is referring to the locations of these 7 Indriyas. 7 locations of these Indriyas, they are the Lokaha. Then yeshu charanti pranaha, in which these pranaha, these indriyani, these sense organs, they move. Then guhashaya nihita sapta sapta. Guhashayaha nihitaha. Guhashayaha means they are sleeping in a cave. When a person goes to sleep, in the deep sleep, not in the dream sleep, but in the deep sleep, all these indriyas, they go and then they take rest in the heart, it seems. We do not know whether it is scientifically true or not, but then they are supposed to take rest in the heart. All these sense organs, not even in the mind. There is what is called some purita tanadi or something like that we have seen somewhere else. And then all these sense organs, it is as though they are taking rest in the heart. The heart also is cool, and then heart is breathing, it is beating normally. So it is like that. So guha means that guha is that heart cave, let us say. In that nihitaha means they are well established. Then sapta means seven means in each being there are seven. In each being there are these seven indriyani which are just sleeping in that guha when the person is in deep sleep. Let us see the bhashyam. Kincha sapta shirshanyah pranaha. Sapta shirshanyah pranaha tasmadeva purushat prabhavanti. So from the same purusha, prabhavanti means they come into existence. Prabhavanti, prakarshena bhavanti, they come into existence. Sapta shirshanyah. Shirshanyah means shirsha, we know. Sahasra shirsha purusha. Shirsha means head. That is shirshanyam. Shirshanyam means that is something which is in the head or relating to the head. Shirshanyani or shirshanyaha pranaha. That is these indriyani which are shirshanyani. Pranaha is masculine, so shirshanyaha pranaha. That is those which are connected to the head or they are located in the head. Then tesham cha saptarchishaha deeptayaha Svavishaya avadyotanani. So teshancha sapta archishaha. Of these seven indriyani, these indriyani they are having their own flames. Flame is that sensing capacity. It is something like a matchstick in which that ability is there. Sapta. So these pranaha they are waiting to be ignited. And what is the fuel for that? The Vishaya. Sapta archishaha deeptayaha. Deepti means again archi. Archi means deepti, that is a flame. Then Svavishaya avadyotanani. Avadyotanam means that which illuminates. This Svavishaya avadyotanani, which illumine their sense objects. These sense flames, they are like the flames which illumine the sense objects. And once the objects are there, it is something like samidha. That object is like a samidha, it is a firewood which is thrown into this sense organ, and then it is well ignited. So we have seen this metaphor even in Gita. In Gita Bhashyam, if you recall, what is that line? Shabdadin Vishayanyanye Indriyagnishu Juhvati. If you see in that different types of yajna in the 4th chapter of Gita, apane juhvati pranam, prane apanam tatha pare, we have seen such lines. So that there is another line which says Shabdadin Vishayan Anye Indriyagnishu Juhvati. So in this say Agni or flame called Indriya, all these Shabdadi Vishayaha, they are given as oblation by these yogis. What does it mean? That means only which are say permitted by dharma. Only those Vishayas which are permitted by dharma, they are accepted, they are taken in, and all these things which are not in accordance with dharma are avoided. So that is what Shankara Bhashyam we saw there. We don't have Shankara Bhashyam readily, but then anyway, that is what it says. That is, the yajna which a yogi is performing there is that he does not take in anything which is not enjoined by dharma, which is not in accordance with dharma. Only dharmyam vishayam he accepts. So adharmyam he will reject. So that is what is called, that is a type of yajna, where he is observing that type of discipline where he accepts only those things which are permitted. So that is a different one. Sharira yatra matra chesta, that is a different one. So that sapta homaha. So this homa, it refers to that. It is like havis. And what is that havis? Whatever you are taking through the indriyas is the havis. That knowledge of all those things is the havis. So that means you are even our day-to-day life, our day-to-day transaction, day-to-day eating, drinking, etc., whatever you do, it is something like a yajna. So that is why when you are accepting food also, you are not supposed to accept food from a bad person. You are not supposed to accept food from a sinful person. So different types of rules are there. So it is like that. You know, we also recite that mantra. Yaduchishtam abhojyam yadva dushcharitam mama. You remember that line? Yaduchishtam abhojyam yadva dushcharitam mama. Sarvam punantu mam asatancha pratigraha guswaha madhyana sandhyavandanam. In the madhyana sandhyavandanam, which we normally do not do, that's why I also don't remember. So yaduchishtam abhojyam yadva dushcharitam mama asatancha pratigraha guswaha. Asatam pratigraha, that is, from bad people you are taking something. Pratigraha means accepting something from bad people is something which is avoided, which should be avoided consciously. And by mistake if we have taken, that is the prayaschitta mantra. We do not know whether a person is a sinful fellow or otherwise. We think that he is a dharmika and we accept certain things from him. So by mistake we have taken, and then we are also partaking his sin, isn't it? So for partaking his sin, we are supposed to do some, what is this? Prayaschitta. So that is it. Sapta homaha, sapta ime loka, where are we? Swavishay Dyotanavana. Okay. Tatha sapta samidhaha, sapta vishayaha. So this samidha, you know, firewood, sapta vishayaha, these 7 objects, sense objects, which are interlinked, which are linked to the sense organs, they are like the firewood. Then vishayairhi samidhyante pranaha. Why are they called samidhaha? He says vishayairhi. He means because vishayaihi pranaha samidhyante. By these vishayas, these pranaha, these are the indriyas, they are samidhyante, they are well ignited, they are well inflamed or ignited. Then sapta homaha tad vishaya vijnanani yadasya vijnanam tad juhoti iti shrutyantarat. So sapta homaha. What are these homaha? Homa means that havis. What is it havis? Vishaya vijnanani. That is the knowledge of those objects. The knowledge or experience of those objects, let us say, not merely knowledge, but the experience of those objects. Then that is where he is referring to another Shruti. Yadasya vijnanam tad juhoti. Whatever is that experience of that sensory, whatever is that sensory knowledge or experience, he is giving as an oblation into the sense organs. Exactly the same line as the same Gita Vakyam. Shabdadin Vishayananye Sanyamagnishu Juhvati. Sanyamagni, that is Samyama, that self-restraint is like an Agni, isn't it? So there we have seen it. Indriyagnishu Juhvati, Sanyamagnishu Juhvati. So all those things. It is Shrutyantarad. Kincha Sapta ime lokaha Indriya sthanani Yeshu charanti sancharanti pranaha. Okay, sapta ime lokaha, that is the third line he is explaining. This 7 lokaha, loka means a location, that's all, nothing more. Indriya sthanani. Indriya sthanani means this indriya golakam. In Sanskrit there is another word called indriya golakam. That is the physical location. Physical location. For example, this eye. Eye means there are 2 things. That is, one is that sense that organ of sense, and then this physical eye, the physical eyeball. The physical eyeball is called Indriya Golakam. So that is that sthanam. The physical eyeball is that Indriya sthanam, whereas the sense organ, eye, is the capacity to perceive it. That capacity to perceive is located in a particular sthanam, in a particular Golakam, in a particular physical, say, part of the body. So that physical part of the body is that Vishaya sthanam. Indriya sthanam. Okay. Yeshu charanti, sancharanti pranaha. In this pranaha sancharanti. This object, the sense organs, they move. Then prana yeshu charanti iti.
Prana yeshu charanti iti.
Prananam visheshanamidam.
Prananam visheshanamidam.
Pranapanadi nivrutyartham.
Pranapanadi nivrutyartham.
So he is clarifying that word pranaha. Pranaha yeshu charanti iti. The expression that pranaha yeshu charanti. That is, how are we giving this meaning for the word prana? For the word prana, we said it means indriyani. How do you say like that? So that is what he is explaining. That is because yeshu charanti pranaha. In these indriya golakas only pranaha charanti. So which means we are not referring to prana, apana, vyana, etc. Because prana, apana, vyana, etc., they don't come into this eye organ, etc. Eye, ear, nose, etc. So that is what he is saying. So prana yeshu charanti iti prananam visheshanamidam. This thing is referring to, this is an attribute for the pranas or indriyani. And how do you say like that? Because of the expression yeshu charanti. This prana, the pranas are located in this. That is what it means. And then by that it is excluding prana, apana, etc., etc. Prana, apana, vyana. Nivrutyartham. Nivrutti means that is exclusion, in order to exclude. Then guhayam sharire hrudayeva.
Guhayam sharire hrudayeva.
Swapakale sherata iti guhashayah.
Swapakale sherate iti guhashayah.
Okay, in this guhashaya word he is explaining. Guhayam, that is sharire, that is in the body or in the heart. You can take it as you like. Swapakale means at the time of sleep, at the time of deep sleep. Sherate. Sherate is the plural for shete. Harish shete. Shete means he sleeps. Sherate means they sleep. Sherate iti guhashayah. Guhayam sherate iti guhashayah. That is the thing. That is they sleep or they lie, rather in what can we say, without any function. They take rest without take rest. They take rest without any function in that heart at the time of deep sleep. Iti guhashayah. Then nihitaha sthapitaha dhatra.
Vihitaha sthapitaha dhatra.
Nihitaha, because guhashaya nihita sapta. Nihita is the word. Nihitaha sthapita dhatra.
Nihitaha sthapita dhatra.
Sapta pratiprani bhedam.
Sapta pratiprani bhedam.
Okay, this sapta 7 and 7 pratiprani bhedam in every being. Then nihitaha sthapita, they are established there. By whom? Dhatra. Dhatra means by the creator. Dhata means creator, isn't it? Hiranyagarbha Brahma. So by that Hiranyagarbha Brahma, they are located there. So that is it. Nihitaha means by whom? By dhata, by this creator. Then yanicha atmayajinam vidusham karmani karmaphalani cha.
Yanicha atmayajinam vidusham karmani tat sadhanani karmaphalani cha.
Okay. Avidusham cha karmani tat sadhanani karmaphalani cha.
Avidusham karmani tat sadhanani karmaphalani cha.
Sarvam cha etat.
Sarvam cha etat.
Parasmadeva purushat sarvajnat.
Parasmadeva purushat sarvajnat.
Prasutamiti prakaranarthaha.
Prasutamiti prakaranarthaha.
So he is telling the overall, the summary of the entire context, the overall meaning of this whole context. Prakaranam is this whole context, this whole say what can we say? Yeah, context only. In this, for this whole thing, what is the overall meaning? What is the overall meaning is, all the karmas either say performed by a vidwan means a jnani, or by an ajnani. All these things, they are all evolutes of this Brahma only. So vidwan performs karma with a sense of, with an awareness that he is also not different from Brahma. With that awareness he performs karma. An ajnani does not have that awareness. A ajnani thinks that okay, I am a limited entity, I am performing this particular say karma in order to propitiate some god. So with that awareness or with that frame of mind, he performs a yajna. So a vidwan has a different frame of mind. Vidwan, though he is a jnani, though he is a realized person, he is still performing something for what? for Loka Sangraha. We know that word Loka Sangraha. Because simply because you are a jnani, it doesn't mean that you have to totally discard and then you have to totally discard all discipline and then social discipline and then just freely move about. Well, you can do so if you are a sannyasi, but not as a grihastha. Sannyasi means you totally give up all the things in a very, very formal manner. You give up your your family, all your relationships, and then formally take up a sannyasa, formally take up the role of a wandering monk. So if you are so, it is okay. You need not do sandhyavandan, you need not go to a temple, etc. But then, if you are a grihastha, a jnani can be a grihastha. And when a grihastha is a jnani, he has to go to a temple, he has to perform puja, he has to perform sandhyavandana, he has to perform rituals, etc. So, but then while performing the rituals, he is fully aware. He is aware that he is doing it, say, as a duty for Loka Sangraha. He is not different from that Supreme. So that is what he says. Anandagiri gives a footnote. Atmayajinamiti sakalam idam ahamcha paramatmaiva. All this ahamcha, me also paramatmaiva, not different from Brahman. Iti bhavana purvakam parameshwararadhana buddhya ye yajanti tesham. That is atmayajinam. That's what he says. So yanicha atmayajinam vidusham karmani. So Shankaracharya also is giving the meaning vidusham. Vidusham is, that is the Shashti Bahuvachanam for Vidwan. Vidusham karmani. The activities or the rituals performed by the jnanis and karma phalanisha, and their karma phala, whatever it is. But their karma phala will not be there. Ritual, strictly speaking, for a Vidwan there is no karma phala. He is just doing it as a matter of his duty, as a sort of role, being a role model for the society, that's all. Then avidusham cha karmani tat sadhanani. For this avidwan, there's karmani, tat sadhanani, karmani, all the karmas, tat sadhanani, all the tools for that karma, and then karma phalam, some loka, some punyam, etc., etc. All those things, etasmat parasmadeva purushat sarvajnat. They are all those things, they emerge from that Sarvajna Purusha, from that omniscient Purusha. Prasutam, all those things, they emerge from that. That is iti prakaranarthaha. This is the overall meaning of this whole passage. Then, next, atas samudra girayascha sarve asmat syandante sindhavas sarvarupaha atascha sarva voshadhayorasascha yenaisha bhutais tishthate hyantaratma. So he is now describing the physical world. So earlier at the divine level this description was given, and again at the personal level, at the level of the body, adhyatma level, say the description was given. Now adhibhuta level, at the level of all these physical, not even adhibhuta, the physical world, like what we see, the rivers, the trees, mountains, etc. So atascha, from the same Brahman, ataha samudraha means oceans, girayascha, giri means a hill or a mountain, girayaha means mountains, girayascha, sarve, all, asmat syandante sindhavaha, sarvarupas sindhavaha, different types of sindhavaha. Sindhu means a river, sindhavaha, rivers, sindhu means river, sindhavaha is or rivers, syandante, they flow, syandante. Then atascha, from the same thing, sarva voshadhayaha, all the plants, all the trees. Then rasascha, rasa means we have got different types of food items, and all these food items, they have got different tastes. We classify 6 tastes usually. Shadruchi we say, that is sweet, bitter, salt, sour, and something, 2 other things, katvam, lavana, atyu, something. Anyway, those 6 tastes I forget. One is sweet, one is hot, that hot means bitter, one is pungent, another is something like what can we say, sour, another is salty, something else. Okay, these 6 tastes are there. So all these food items which have these 6 tastes, then sapta rasa, then yena yesha bhutais tishtate hyantaratma. By these sthula bhutaihi, Antaratma does not refer to the jiva. Antaratma in this context is referring to the linga sharira. Linga sharira we know that sthola sharira and sukshma sharira. The sukshma sharira is otherwise called linga sharira. Sometimes in English it is translated as the astral body. So that means, so the five sense, you see, the physical body is the flesh, blood, bones, etc. The mano, this annamaya and pranamaya are the physical, no, not pranamaya. Annamaya only is the physical body. Annamaya. Then this prana is subtler than the physical thing. So this prana is one. Then the five sense organs. So the sense organs and mind, all these things, they constitute the subtle body. The sense organs and the mind and the pranas, they constitute the subtle body. So it is this subtle body which is supposed to migrate. When the physical body falls, it is this subtle body which is supposed to migrate along with the baggage of karma. That along with the baggage of karma is also there. Because the mind is there, isn't it? Mind is there means the baggage of karma is also there. Mind is the baggage of karma. And apart from mind, there is no other baggage of karma. Mind is a sort of storehouse of samskaras we have seen. It is something like a sort of storehouse, a sort of godown for all these samskaras. So when the mind is moving, this whole samskaras are moving. Samskara means all the good, bad karma. So those things. So karma phalanicha, okay, where are we? Syandante sravanti. Okay. Sindhavas sarvarupaha tishtare hyantaratma. Let us read the bhashyam. Atah purushat samudra sarve ksharadhyaha girayasya himavadadayo asmadeva purushat sarve syandante sravanti. Okay, pravahanti. Gangadhyaha sindhavaha nadhyaha sarvarupa bahurupaha. Okay. Ataha purushat, from this purusha only, samudras sarve ksharadhyaha. We talk about sapta samudra, the 7 types of samudras we talk about. Lavana, Ikshu, Sura, Sarpi, Dadhik, Shira, Jalarnava, we say. Lavana, Ikshu, Sura, Sarpi, Dadhik, Shira, Jalarnava. They are all described in Puranas. They are physically not there. They may be different symbolic meanings. There may be symbolic meanings for those things. I am not aware of them. Purusha, Samudra, Sarve, Ksharadhyaha. Kshara means the salt. We are only aware of the salt water oceans. We are not aware of some other oceans, isn't it? So Ksharadhyaha. Then Girayasya Himavadadayaha. Himavan is, we know that Himalayas. Himavadadayaha means like Himalayas, the mountains. Asmadeva Purushat Sarve. From this Purushadeva, all those things. Then Syandante Sravanti. Your book says Pravahanti. Pravahanti, Sravanti, one and the same. They flow. Gangadhyaha. Gangadhya Sindhavaha. The rivers like Ganga, etc. Then Sarvarupaha Bahurupaha. In various shapes and sizes they flow. Then Asmadeva Sarva Oshadhayo
Asmadeva Purushat Sarva Oshadayo
Vrihi Yavadhyaha. From the same thing, from the same being, Oshadhayaha, Vrihi Yava, etc. Then Rasasya Madhuradi Shadvidho
Madhuradi Shadvidho
Yena Rasena Bhutaih Panchabhihi Sthulaihi Pariveshtitas Tisthate Tisthati Hyantaratma Lingam Sukshmam Shariram. Okay. Rasascha. Then what is this rasa? Madhuradi Shadvidhaha. There are 6 types of Shadvidha means 6 types. Madhura Adi. Madhura, what are the Sanskrit words for that? Madhura, Katu, Amla, Ushna, not Ushna, Tikta, some words are there. Like what we just recounted. Yeah, at the time of Ugadi, you take all 6 types of foods and then we eat. So that symbolic of saying that in life we have to accept everything. In life we have to accept good, bad, everything. So that is it. Rasasya Madhuradi Shadvidho Yena Rasena. That is by their rasam, by their strength only. Rasa, when you take food, that is the essence, isn't it? That gives us strength. Yena Rasena Bhutaihi panchabhi sthulaihi. By these 5 bhutas. By these 5 bhutas means this sthula sharira. We are referring to this sthula sharira. This sthula sharira pariveshtitah tishtati hyantaratma. Pariveshtitah. Sthulaihi pariveshtitah tishtati. This antaratma is existing as though it is pariveshtitah, means as though it is well protected by, as though it is well guarded by this physical body. This antaratma, or this sukshma sharira or the linga sharira, the subtle body, is looking as though it is well protected within this cage called sthula sharira. So in this physical cage called sthula sharira, it is looking as though this linga sharira is well protected. Antaratma lingam sukshmam shariram. Pariveshtitah. Pariveshtitah means as though it is well protected, not exactly protected, it is well covered. Pariveshtitah. Veshtanam, you know. Shiro Veshtanam means you put a big turban. That big turban on the head is called Shiro Veshtanam. That is, it is covering the head. So something, whatever covers, whatever gives protection. So that is got Veshtana. Pariveshtitah means something which has been covered by. Pariveshtitas tishtati hyantaratma. Then tadhi antarale sharirasya atmanascha.
Sharirasya atmanascha.
Sharirasya atmanascha. Atmavad vartate iti antaratma.
Atmavad vartate iti antaratma.
Tadhi antarale. Tad he. That, in fact, indeed, that is that sukshma sharira. Tad he. Indeed, that is that sukshma sharira. Is what is there inside sharirasya, atmanasya, atmavad vartate. It is existing as though it is the self. Atmavad vartate. It is existing as though that is the self of this sharira and of this atma. Of this atma, it is looking as though that is the self of that. Sharirasya, atmanasya, atmavad vartate. For this sharira and for this atma, this linga sharira is looking, it is functioning as though, or it is masquerading, or it is behaving as though that is the atma. Iti antaratma. So that is why it is called antaratma. We still have time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will read the next thing. Purusha yevedam vishwam.
Purusha yevedam vishwam.
Karma tapo brahma paramrutam.
Karma tapo brahma paramrutam.
Etadyo veda nihitam guhayam.
Etadyo veda nihitam guhayam.
So vidya granthim vikiratiha somya.
So vidya granthim vikiratiha somya.
Okay. Purusha yevedam vishwam. Now the Upanishad is making a broad statement. This whole Vishwam is that Purusha eva. Purusha means we are referring to that absolute Brahman. We have seen different layers of Brahman, isn't it? And after describing various layers, all the manifestations of that Brahman in different forms, now the Upanishad is concluding that Purusha eva idam Vishwam. I am Atma Brahma, not I am Atma, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Same as Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. What all we see is nothing but Brahma. So the Upanishad is first saying, so instead of saying all this Vishwam is Brahma, suppose directly it says, what all you see is nothing but Brahma, you will not accept. So it says, okay, there is something called Brahma. That Brahma is that supreme consciousness. And then that Brahma, from that Brahma there is a Maya, there is a Hiranyagarbha, there are 5, elements. And those 5 elements have transformed themselves into the 5 sense organs, and the 5 from those 5 elements, the physical body has come. So, which means you are slowly saying that whatever is that Karanam is there in this Karyam also. Whatever is there in that Karanam, that is Brahma, it is there in the Karyam also. You are saying. Then you are saying that they are not different. Karanam and Karyam are not different. So when they are not different, ultimately what does it mean? Just as the wave is not different from water, just as a bubble is not different from water, you are not different from that Atman. So that this is the step-by-step induction of that idea. So that is Purusha Evedam Vishwam, Karma Tapo Brahma Paramrutam. Karma, activity, Tapaha, austerity, Brahma. What is the meaning for Brahma here? Yeah, the Brahma is Brahma Paramrutam. Paramrutam Brahma. Paramrutam Brahma means that is Para and Param Amrutam. That supreme immortality called Brahma is nothing but the same, the whole Vishwam is that only. Then etad yo veda nihitam guhayam. The one who knows that this is the thing which is there in his own self, in his own buddhi guha. This particular Brahma is there in his buddhi guha, nihitam, which is there well established in his buddhi guha. Then saha avidya granthim vikirati. This avidya granthi, avidya is like a great knot. That great knot this man totally throws away. Literally means actually cutting the knot. Vikirati literally means, suppose you take a fistful of grain and then you just throw it, maybe for birds or something like that. That is called vikiranam. That is called just sprinkling or distributing. So avidya granthim vikirati here means he totally unties, he cuts it off. So he throws away, you can say like that, throws away. Iha means, this iha is also significant. Ika means here itself, not after the death. Here itself, this gentleman throws away. Somya means, oh my dear student. Somya is generally, Somya is a word addressed to the student. Soma means sun, moon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Moon is something which is pleasant. Saumya, you know the word Saumya. Saumya means somebody who is very pleasant, not very arrogant, somebody who is obedient, somebody who is pleasing to you. So that way. Somebody who is, say, friendly, pleasing, that is Saumya. So that is, Saumya is that. Oh dear student, so that is what it means. So let us see the Bhashyam. Evam purushat sarvamidam samprasutam.
Evam purushat sarvamidam samprasutam.
Ato vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam.
Ato vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam.
Anrutam. Purusha ityeva satyam.
Purusha ityeva satyam.
Okay, now Shankaracharya is leading to this conclusion. Evam purushat sarvamidam samprasutam. From this Purusha, from this Brahman only, sarvamidam, this whole thing, the whole universe which we see, samprasutam, it has well emerged. Prasuta. Prasava means, actually literally a baby being delivered. That is prasava. Prasutam means something which has originated. Samprasutam means it has originated from the same Brahman. Ataha, therefore, this Vacharambhanam Shruti, he is again recalling. Vacharambhana Shruti we have come across several times. That is Vacharambhanam Vikaro Namadheyam Vruttike Tyeva Satyam. The clay alone is real. All other modifications, they are merely Vacharambhanam. They are just expressed in words, that's all. Vacharambhanam, Shankaracharya translates it as Vagalambanam. Vak is only an alambanam. That is merely just supported by words. Vagalambanam, something which is just verbally supported. Vacharambhanam is merely just, that is something which is verbally supported but not really existing. So in the idea, the example is like a pot, like a lid, 100 varieties of pots and jars. So they all exist in name and form, that's all. But their essence is clay only. So the clay alone is Satyam. All those names and forms are unreal. They have come into existence, they have a life for some time, and then they do resolve back into clay. So that is what it is. So Vacharambhanam Vikaraha. This word Vikara also we know. Vikara means any modification, any change, any evolute, let us say. Any evolute is not different from its original source. So this, what is this evolute? Evolute or modification is only something which is verbally supported. A mere name, Namadheyam. We know that word also. Namadheyam means mere name. Namadheyam. Then Purusha ityeva Satyam. So here instead of Mrittika, we are saying Purusha. Instead of that, Mrittika is removed and then Purusha is put. That is Purusha, this particular Brahman alone is Satyam. Ataha Purusha eva idam Vishwam Sarvam.
Ataha Purusha eva idam Vishwam Sarvam.
So this whole thing is, apart from that Purusha, there is nothing. This Vishwa, the whole Vishwam is only a manifestation in that Purusha. Then na Vishwam nama Purushad anyat kinchid asti.
Na Vishwam nama Purushad anyat kinchid.
Na Vishwam nama Purushad anyat kinchid asti.
Na Vishwam nama Purushad anyat kinchid asti.
So Purushad anyat, that is apart from this Purusha. Purushad anyat na kinchid asti. Apart from this Purusha, Vishwam nama na kinchidasti. There is nothing which can be called as Vishwam. Then ato yaduktam tadetad abhihitam.
Tadeva idam abhihitam.
That is better thing. Tadeva idam abhihitam is a better, gives better meaning here. What does it say? Tadeva
idam abhihitam.
Okay, fine. Idam abhihitam. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti.
Kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti.
Ato yaduktam tadeva idam abhihitam. That is, yaduktam means whatever was told earlier. Whatever was told earlier, the same thing, tadetad abhihitam. The same thing is being say exemplified here. It is being told here. What is it? Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte. Earlier it was say questioned. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvam. The very first mantra, I think. Shaunaka, or somebody who goes to that Mahashala, Shaunako Mahashala, he went to that Guru, Angira, and then he says, "Oh Lord, tell me, there is something by knowing which everything gets known. You please teach me that thing by knowing which everything else is known." So that is being exemplified here, he says, because once you know Samudram, or once you know that water, then you know what is Samudram, what is ocean. And once you know what is water, you know what is a wave. Once you know water, you know what is a bubble. Once you know water, you know what is called foam, froth, whatever it is, foam or froth. So all those things you know. Once you know water, you know all those things. And once you know Rajju, suppose once you know rope, you know what is a snake. Once you know Rajju, you know what is a snake. You know what is a garland. So before, till you did not know say Rajju, you were thinking it is a snake, or you were thinking it is something which is something is a crack in the earth. It is just a crack in the earth, or something like a garland, or some water which is thrown there. So in different shapes you were imagining. But now you know this, you know all that. Which means all those things, they are all laya. They are all pravilapanam is done. So knowledge is pravilapanam. Once you know water, ocean, waves, etc., all those things, they are all pravilapa. They are all pravilapanam. What did we say? Resolute. They are resolved. They are resolved back, isn't it?
Yes.
Once you know water, ocean, wave, all those things, they are resolved back. Once you know Rajju, all other things, all other forms are resolved back. So similarly, once you know Brahman, all these things are all resolved back. So that is what it is. So, yaduktam tadetad abhihitam. The same thing is being told here. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. So you followed this?
Yes.
Because once you know that, then you know everything else. Because all the things which we see, they are all evolved from that only. So which means these are not different from that. Then etasmin hi parasmin atmani sarvakarane purushe vijñāte purusha evedam vishvam nānyadastiti vijñātam bhavati iti. Okay. Etasmin hi parasmin atmani. So etasmin hi parasmin atmani vijñāte sati. It is all sati saptami. So when this parasmin atmani, when this paramatma, when this paramatma is known, etasmin atmani vijñāte means when this paramatma is known, when this supreme atma is known, this supreme atma which is sarvakarane purushe, that is, this is the source of everything, sarvakarana, this is the source, this is the origin for everything. Once that is known, then what is realized? Purusha evedam vishwam. This whole vishwam is Purusha eva, na anyadasti, there is nothing else, na anyadasti iti vijñātam bhavati. It is well known. So that means all other things they are all pravilapa, they are all resolved back into that Brahman. So we'll stop here, we'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.